Are you serious? Are you serious? What? Who shot down the Malaysian plane? Conflicting reports are now breaking. One report is, of course, that the pro-Russian rebels shot it down because they are supposedly had the only ability to do it. They would in that location, in that area, and that they received this Russian bulk BUK missile systems from the Russian government. They'd already shot down 3 planes prior to this one being shot down by their own admission. But we have new reports surfacing out of Kiev, Ukraine. A whistleblower, a man of great courage and determination, committed to the truth. Well, that's what the report says. He's been called a man of great courage and determination, committed to the truth. Others say he is not real and made up by the Russian propaganda machine. But all we know firsthand is that his Twitter account, the account with more than 10,000 tweets over time, was real and has now been shut down. Here is all the information we have for the readers to judge on their own. It appears unlikely that the Twitter account was just opened because it did have over 10,000 tweets over a period of time. But according to the Canadian nonprofit Global Research Organization, and following statements, this alleged air traffic controller, an air traffic controller in Kiev, he and his family have been threatened by the Kiev regime, including death threats. The Spanish embassy could not confirm this. He has been deported from Ukraine, as Ukraine immigration and the Spanish embassy were unable to confirm this as well. It was stated he is a man of courage. Here's what he did. The report has yet to be fully corroborated and should be read with caution, but ETN News found records of this alleged dialogue on a global research. The original report reads as the following. There was an unexplained change of course of Malaysian flight MH17, which took the aircraft directly over the eastern Ukraine war zone. The Spanish air controller confirms a conflict between the Ministry of Defense and the Ministry of the Interior, intimating that the order concerning the downing of an aircraft came from the Ministry of Interior, which is dominated by the Serboda and right sector. Now, he also said that the MH17 flight Malaysian plane was escorted by Ukrainian fighter jets minutes before it was downed. It is worth noting that the presence of the Ukrainian fighter jets reported by the Spanish air traffic controller was confirmed by eyewitness reports in the region. Eyewitnesses in eastern Ukraine region, where the plane went down, saw Ukrainian warplanes near the passenger jet. They say they heard sounds of powerful blast and saw a Ukraine warplane shortly before the crash. Now, the translation from the Spanish reports, the Spanish air controller says at 10:21, flight 17, and then it goes into Spanish, and then there's also Russian, so of course I can't read it. But it's basically, I can't read it. So they're saying it confirms, the Spanish air traffic controllers are confirming what the Kiev Ukrainian air traffic controller is saying. They're saying it's a Ukrainian fighter jets that shot the plane down instead of surface-to-air missiles. But the United States military, using satellite correspondence, says it was definitely a surface-to-air missile. Now, it could have been that the Ukrainian jets were escorting the plane, and the pro-Russian separatists fired at the jets, but the missile hit the plane. Matter of fact, Mike from Around the World, who was on my show about 3 days ago, already knew that what kind of system they were using and told me, yes, it can go 33,000 feet, it can go 82,000 feet, and he said, and it will, if it's fired at one object, if an object bigger than the one it's shooting at appears, it will on its own make a decision to veer away and hit the bigger threat. So it is possible, I'm saying it is possible, that either the Ukrainian aircraft, Ukrainian fighter jets shot the plane down over pro-Russian territory, or it is possible that the pro-Russians fired at the warplanes, Ukrainian warplanes, and hit the passenger jet by accident. We're not sure which way it goes, but we do know, according to the Pentagon, and I want to thank Rosemary of North Carolina for these reports, on Infowars.com being reported by Alex Jones, that Russian troops are massing now the border of Ukraine. According to Alex Jones, there are about 10,000 to 12,000 regular Russian combat troops inside the border with Ukraine. They've come on into the border of Ukraine. Kirby told reporters at the Pentagon briefing an increase from the few weeks ago, but a smaller force than roughly 40,000 that were there earlier in the standoff. So Russia has sent 10 to 12,000 of their own troops into Ukraine. Kirby also confirmed the defense officials have long observed movements of weapons and advisors from Russia to pro-Russian separatists inside Ukraine. Although he said the Pentagon has not specifically seen a heavy-tracked surface-to-air missile launcher like the one believed to have been shot down, the Malaysian airline flight Boeing 777 Flight 17. Now, so these are conflicting reports, but Russia has moved 10 to 12,000 troops invaded into Ukraine as we speak. But there's another report I received from Hans van Zaan, and his report says, and I believe Hans van Zaan, I believe he's from the Netherlands, but I can't remember. Anyway, the pro-Russian rebels stole the bodies from the crash site. Ukraine's government has accused the pro-Russian rebels in eastern Ukraine of trying to destroy the evidence at the site where the Malaysian airliner crashed by removing 38 bodies from the scene. Now, air accident investigators from the United Kingdom were set to arrive in Ukraine to assess the investigation into the attack on Malaysian Flight 17 amid growing international condemnation of the disaster. Downing Street said it was increasingly likely that Flight 17 was shot down by the separatist missiles. 2 football fans, a student, and a World Health Organization worker were among those killed, among 10 Britons that were killed when the Malaysian airline passenger plane was apparently shot down in eastern Ukraine. So it's really getting ugly out there, and like I said yesterday, there would be finger pointing. Obama is already putting the blame on Putin, saying that Vladimir Putin supplied the pro-Russian rebels with the technology, with this Russian MUK missile system, and the pro-Russian separatists have already, by their own admission, have already shot down 3 military planes of the Ukrainians. So Obama is putting the blame squarely on Vladimir Putin. But now this report about maybe that the Ukrainian government used fighter jets, and they may have actually shot down the plane. This brings another situation here to look at. Putin is squarely blaming the Ukrainian government. He's saying they did it, not us. And they, being the Ukrainian government, is being funded and protected by the European Union and the Obama administration of the United States, and he puts the blame on Obama. So folks, we are on the brink of some dangerous situations. Throw in ISIS ravaging through the Middle East, and throw in Israel at war with Hamas, and then go ahead and just understand that Boko Haram is butchering Christians in Nigeria. And then we have the border wars between America and Mexico, not counting anything else like earthquakes. I just got a report, a 6.0 earthquake has just hit Yemen. 6.0 just hit Yemen. I just received that report. And I want to thank Hendrik Gongal, who actually was able to send me the report from ETN News on the Ukrainian warcraft that may have shot down this Malaysian plane. Yes, and so we've got a lot going on. Thank you, Rosemary. Thank you, Hans van Zaan. Thank you, Hendrik Gongal, for great reporting. I am trying to help keep us up to speed. But the most important thing I could say to you is give your life to Jesus Christ, because we're truly living in the last days. Time is running out. Be born again, get saved, get your name written in the Lamb's Book of Life by and through the name of Jesus Christ.